Hi, my name's Tom, and today I'll be speaking with you about deontology. Before I start, I just want to show you this short cartoon. It's a group of businessmen, and it says, "I'm not going to lie to you, that's what Hendrix is here for." Deontology is based on the word deon, which comes from the Greek, and which means obligation or duty. The main focus of deontology is on actions, and we judge these actions alone, irrespective of their consequences. These theories can be agent-centered, i.e. we can have permissions and obligations in our actions, or they can be patient-centered, i.e. we have rights which should not be violated. A great advantage of deontology is that it's black and white. It's very clear to know if something is good or bad. However, by the same token, this can also be a bad thing in that it disregards context or consequences of actions. An advantage, however, is that deontology allows for special concern of agents. For example, a parent can have a special concern and a special duty to a child, where a general person of the public, who is unrelated, may not have this same duty. Deontology also directly supports justice. For example, in an agent-centered theory, if someone does not have your permission to do something to you, they have violated a moral principle. In the same essence, if they have violated your right to privacy or some other right, they have also violated a moral principle. Deontology also has some disadvantages. For example, it ignores consequences. It also has the potential for avoidance, which means you can be technically acting ethically, however in practice it isn't really ethical for you to do that. As an example, the cartoon we saw previously mentions specifically that Hendrix is the one that's lying to you. I'm not lying to you, and therefore I'm not doing anything wrong. Hendrix is doing something wrong, but I am not. And although deontology is often very clear and black and white, there can also be conflicts of rights or duties. For example, if a psychiatrist has a patient who says that they are going to kill someone or harm someone, the psychiatrist has a moral dilemma. They have to weigh up the fact that they need to keep some information private about the patient, but they also might feel that they have an obligation to protect the person who is being threatened. One of the great influences on deontology was Immanuel Kant. He was so influential that a whole system of ethics, Kantianism, is named after him. Kant based his theory around what he called the categorical imperative, and that was that moral actions or inactions can be determined as necessary via reason. He expressed this categorical imperative in three maxims. The first maxim, universality, tells us that all of our actions have to be moral all of the time, and there cannot be any exceptions. For example, if it is wrong to lie, it is always wrong to lie, no matter what. The second maxim is to treat people as an end in themselves, and not a means to one. This is in stark contrast to another ethical theory called consequentialism. Consequentialism holds that people can be means to an end, and therefore the ends justify those means. The third maxim of Kant's categorical imperative incorporates the first two. In considering morality and acting morally, imagine that you are always a legislating member in the universal kingdom of ends. Now let's consider Kantianism in practice. Let's start with deception. If everyone lied, no one would be able to trust anyone, and therefore communication would fail and society would collapse. Therefore, lying is wrong. And that means, according to the first maxim, that it is always wrong for everyone. Likewise, if everyone committed suicide, no one would be left alive, and therefore human flourishing would cease. Therefore, suicide is wrong. If everyone were lazy, no one could afford to be lazy or have anything to enjoy, and therefore laziness is also wrong. So, in summary, deontology is a rule or obligation-based ethical system. Modern deontological theories can be agent-centered or patient-centered. Immanuel Kant is widely considered to be the father of deontology, and established his ethical framework on the basis of what he called the categorical imperative. Deontology strongly differs to other normative theories in its exclusive focus on actions and its disregard for the consequences or contexts of those actions.